Some breaking news here. Donald Trump has just revoked the Equal Opportunity Employment Executive Order signed by LBJ back in 1965. Now, this was a bedrock policy. This was highly impactful back in the 1960s. Women and men of color were trying hard to have careers in the government, and this helped them. From what I understand, from what I was reading up on the articles and everything, is that he's trying to basically going to start cutting DEI hires, employees, and whatnot out of the federal government. Now, a lot of people are upset about this, and a lot of people also need to understand why he's doing this. And I am not saying I agree with it. However, this is basically him trying to get rid of the stigma of, hey, because you're trans or you're black or you're gay or you're a woman or you're colored of any kind of an ethnicity, that you are a diversity hire, which in and of itself is insulting to people of different creeds, sexes, religions, backgrounds, races, to sit there and say, I'm hiring you because of this, because they want to use you like a mascot to bring other people in to, following them, voting for them, supporting them, because they go, hey, look, I've got the trans person, the black person, the woman, that kind of thing. That I disagree with that ever being okay, because that's just as bigoted as being against those people, because you're just using them as bait. This is still not the best thing, because he's going to start firing people who have probably been doing their jobs and they're just minding their own business. So I disagree with the fact that he is going to be rolling that back, because I feel like that's going to set a further precedent that it's okay, and that I'm worried that other businesses and companies are going to try to follow this. Not saying that they legally could, because this is, as far as I'm aware, it only affects the federal government. So I don't want to fearmonger here, but let me know what you guys think down below, because some of these executive orders and rollbacks he's doing are very, very, very jarring, to say the least.
Imagine a workplace where fairness isn't guaranteed and where progress made over decades is suddenly called into question. Well, that's the reality many Americans fear after Donald Trump revoked the Equal Employment Opportunity Executive Order of 1965. Hi, and welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide. So today we are breaking down Trump's decision to repeal a landmark executive order signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson. Well, this order was a pillar of workplace equality, prohibiting discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. So what does this decision mean for diversity and inclusion in the workplace? Stick around as we unpack this significant and controversial move.
For every Black Republican, I really want y'all to take a long look in the mirror and ask, do you love the color of your skin? Because y'all allowed this man in office. It's something that our ancestors fought for, got beat for, got dogs on them, got sprayed with water hoses, got hung for. They fought for these rights for us, and y'all squandered them away for money. Y'all squandered them away just to be closer to white people. What a disgrace y'all are to our community. My mom wasn't even born when this shit came through. My mom wasn't even born. And you mean to tell me y'all let this man take this from us? Something our ancestors fought for? Y'all really let that shit happen? If you are black and you voted for this man, go play in traffic. Because this shit right here, this should have never happened. Everybody is about to suffer for this. Everybody. Everybody. Race, color, religion, national origin. This man is making America white again before Jim Crow. And we told y'all that. We told y'all he is trying to take us back to Jim Crow. And y'all sat there and y'all said, I don't want DEI. I don't want an advantage. DEI is not a fucking advantage. It's just to put us in the room because we're just as qualified as any other white man. And y'all let this shit go down. I'm going to try not to cry because the bitch got a meeting.
So what I learned today is a lot of y'all you don't care about your history. You don't care about the people that made sacrifices for you to be able to be where you are today, to be able to do the things that you're able to do, to be able to have the opportunities that you're able to have. You don't care about it. I just got off the phone with my mom, who just got off the phone with her mom, my grandmother, who she had to console because she was boo-hoo crying. And my mom didn't realize why. My grandmother was crying because she had saw the news that uh, the orange man in charge had just put an executive order to repeal the Equal Opportunity Employment Act of the Civil Rights Act of 1965. Now, understand, before that act, before that, was in, before that executive order was placed, that stood for over 50 years. An employer could literally tell you to your face, well, I'm sorry, I don't hire black people. I don't hire women. And no consequences. They could literally be just that discriminatory towards people. And the reason that it upset my grandmother so much is because she remembers my great grandmother and great grandfather, her parents, the sacrifices, the marching, the hard working, the speaking out and trying to help change, trying to help get these opportunities for us, and the sacrifices these people made to their own families, not being around their families sometimes because they were fighting for the good of us as a people, as a whole. And all this time later, to see what you might think is trivial, what you might think is small, to see something that they worked, sacrificed, clawed, and scratched for be taken away by the stroke of a pen. And all because a few of us, not saying a lot of us, a few of us, because it was 92% and 80%. But every one of us counts. And a few of us decided a little bit of money was more important than preserving our history, than preserving the things that we fought for, to be able to have opportunities in this place. It's just sad, man. It's sad that, you know, the further we get away from those times, the further our elders pass away and leave this world, and we aren't taught the things we need to be taught, and the knowledge isn't passed on to us. The further we get from that, the more and more easily it's going to be for us for things to roll back and go back in that direction. And I mean, it's unfortunate, but hey, man, just gotta keep grinding, keep fighting a good fight, and you know, look for better days, work towards better days. But man, just hearing my mom and knowing that hurt my grandmother like that it's crazy, man. Yeah, we got to do better. As a whole, we got to do better.
This is why people stopped talking to y'all while you were excommunicated from your family and friends, because we knew this was going to happen. Donald Trump has revoked the Equal Employment Opportunity Act of 1965. Make America Great Again always meant a return to open racism, sexism, and other forms of bigotry. You were either too stupid to know that, or this is what you wanted all along. In either case, you're trash. The order prohibited discrimination in hiring and employment based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. His voters wanted this all along because they were told many times that this would happen. That's why they're all grouped together and we have a zero tolerance policy for them. They knew they were wrong about it because they were crashing out, but we stand by what we said. We don't want you here. You can't hang out with us. The presidential message says that industries and institutions have adopted and actively used dangerous, demeaning, and immoral race and sex-based preferences under the guise of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion. So-called diversity, equity, and inclusion, because everything was so fair prior to 1965. I know his voters are dumb and he's trying to rewrite history, but they can't be that dumb. He calls it ending illegal discrimination and restoring merit-based opportunity, back before black people had rights. It's not a meritocracy when black people can't vote and they're not allowed to hold certain positions. Restoring merit-based opportunity means restoring white supremacy. I'm just going to say it now because TikTok's suppressing me anyway. You know who benefited from the Equal Employment Opportunity Act of 1965? Katherine Johnson, a black woman and mathematician at NASA who wasn't allowed in the same meeting rooms as white men and couldn't put her name on her research papers. Is this the kind of merit-based opportunity he's talking about? To my friends wanting to know what to do next, be disruptive and vocal because every battle counts. We're the ones who have the power, not them.
This is your reminder. We are resting. Some of you may need to unplug completely from social media and the news because, as I have said, we are under spiritual attack. The goal is to break us spiritually, and some of y'all are already folding. Executive orders cannot change laws that Congress has made. So that order is not revoking the Civil Rights Act of 1965. What is happening is at the federal level. So federal employees and contractors. Is that bad? Yes. Is it as bad as y'all are crashing out for it to be? No. The most important thing for you to do right now is to take care of yourself. Please take some deep breaths in through the nose, hold for 4, and out through the mouth. Recenter yourself and ground yourself. Everything is going to be okay. Do we have work to do? Yes. Are we resting from solving other people's problems? Also, yes. But we must, and I mean must, get our spiritual house in order and regulate our emotions.
Donald Trump took away the Equal Opportunity Act of 1965. Basically what Martin Luther King was fighting for on Martin Luther King Day. This is insane. Like, this world is coming to an end. It is so crazy. And I'm just thankful that I do not put my trust in no man. The only trust I put in is God. This world is coming to an end. Like, it's crazy. Martin Luther King had been fighting for this, for us, for so long. And somebody can just come and just take it away. Like, it's insane. You can really feel the frustration and concern in those reactions, and honestly, it's completely valid. And for years, workplace inequality has been a reality, especially for black communities and other minorities. Executive order wasn't perfect, but it gave people hope. Hope that discrimination in hiring and promotions could be addressed, even if slowly. And again, we also know systemic racism doesn't just disappear overnight. And these same black workers already are facing so many barriers, whether it's being overlooked for promotions or being underpaid for the same work, or even just getting a seat at the table. And policies like this order were just created because those inequalities were too big to be ignored. And sure, yeah, some argue that merit should be the only thing that matters. But how do you prove your merit when the system itself isn't built to give you the same opportunities? Honestly, this repeal feels like a step backwards. And I think this decision hurts more than it helps. And it puts marginalized communities in an even tougher spot. And so, guys, what do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments below. And again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more conversations like this. So thank you for watching. Bye.